Hey YouTube, this is J.Michelle from LYL Locs. I'm a loctician. I specialize in healthy hair repairs, and my salon is located right outside of Atlanta in Austell. So I'm really proud of myself. I'm really sticking with these quick videos. So I think I've mentioned this in another video. I'm doing this in one take, limited editing and all that kind of stuff. So if I stumble over my words a little bit, just let it go because I'm doing it in one take. So I have a video already posted. It's an older video that tells you how to pick a loctician, all the different criteria you need to look at when selecting a loctician. So if you have not looked at that video, get out of this one and go look at that one. I'll wait. Okay, so you're back. You watched the video. This video is sort of a follow-up to that one. Okay, so after watching how to pick a good loctician, hopefully you've narrowed it down to 2, but no more than 3 people. Okay, so this video will tell you the questions you need to ask before you actually book an appointment with them. Okay, now let me tell you my motivation for doing this video. Now, because I specialize in repairs, I get clients who have come from all over, my local area, out of state, even international. And one thing they all seem to have in common is that they never really asked pertinent questions to the stylist before they got started. Okay? They did very limited research before they got it started. Whatever it was, whether they started locks or did repairs, whatever. It's only after they're unhappy, after they're dissatisfied, that they finally took the time to research, which is how they found me. So what I'm hoping in this video, which is a companion to how to pick a good loctician video, that you're able to make better decisions in choosing someone. So this video and how to pick a good loctician video, please send that, post it or send people the links, because it's getting people into so much trouble because they're not doing any research. But anyway, let's jump right to it. Okay. So you've narrowed it down to 2 or 3 people, right? You go in for your consultation. The first thing you need to ask them is, what are the options available? So let's say you were trying to start locks. What they should tell you is, okay, you can start with comb twist, you can start with 2-strand twist, you can do it micro locks, you can do it interlock, you can do the needle method, you can do lock extensions, you can do the braid locks. They should give you a list, okay? Now, just because they don't offer a particular service doesn't mean they shouldn't still tell you that's an option, right? For example, I start locks, comb twist, the needle method, lock extensions. That's it. I do know the other techniques. I don't like them, which is why I don't do them, okay? But because I'm a professional, because I want you to be happy, I'm going to tell you all of the options available. Because in order to make an informed decision, you have to have the information, okay? So if you go to someone and they only know one way, that's a red flag. That doesn't mean you can't go to them. What it means is that they may not be as experienced, okay? Which is one of the criteria in that video I told you to watch, how to pick a good loctician. That is one of the criteria that you assess when choosing someone, okay? Because how do I know that this method is best if I only know that method? Does that make sense? Okay. So you ask them what the options are. The next thing you want to ask them is, what are the pros and cons for each one of those options? Okay. Now, I don't care what anyone says. There's always a pros and cons to each thing. Always. If you go in and they say, oh, no, this is good. There's nothing bad with it, blah, blah, you need to walk out, because that means to me they're unprofessional and they really don't understand what they're doing. There's always a give and take, okay? Let's say lock extensions, for example, right? I know the traditional method, which is braid, wrap, okay? I don't do that. I do the needle method, right? So I'm going to give you the pros and cons for each. The needle method, oh, your hair looks more natural. The extensions are lighter. They're softer. There's less slippage. It's the most natural looking extension you can get. Well, as good as it is, it has its own set of cons. What are the cons? Well, it's expensive. The starting price is $700, but the average price is $1,000. And that is for about 4 inches, okay? it takes a long time to do. On average, it takes 12 to 14 hours. But even with those cons, it's outweighed by the pros. Okay. Let's say the traditional method, wrap, wrap, braid, braid. Okay. Well, that's easier to do. It takes anywhere, if it's done right, it takes 6 to 12 hours to do. Okay, so that's a big difference in the time. It's cheaper. For the same price, you probably could get a length like mid back or longer. Okay, um, it's also available. Most stylists know how to do that. But what are the disadvantages? Well, it's double the hair. You have to have hair to braid it, hair to wrap it. That's double the hair, which means it's heavier, which leads to breakage. Also, that distinctive braid bump at the root is a dead giveaway you have extensions. Okay, when you wrap the hair, it generally looks shiny, which is a dead giveaway that it's not natural. So, I didn't go down a full list, but that's what you want to hear, because you want to be like, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, blah, blah. You want them to do that, to break it down for you, because you're making an informed decision. And you're not the loctician. You don't know. You need them to tell you. Okay, so you've asked them for the options. They told you the pros and cons. Now you want them to tell you what they recommend for you and why. Keep in mind the and why part is super important. So let's go back to lock creation. Well, sir, your hair is past your shoulder blades, and you say you're very active in sports and working out. Based on everything you've told me, I think the best method for you would be the needle method. You're going to come in with loose hair. You're going to leave out with fully locked hair. So there'll be no time that you won't be able to go without shampoo. And you can shampoo the next day if you want to. Your hair is going to remain locked and matted together, so you don't have to worry about not being able to swim or not being able to scratch your head and being super careful with it. I think that's the best method for you. Okay, now it would be nice if they followed up and told you why these other methods aren't best. Because I would say, well, sir, because your hair is so long, if you get comb twists, it's going to take you forever. It's going to take many, many, many months before your hair can lock up. You're going to have to limit how much you're working out. You're going to limit how much you shampoo your hair, because we're trying to get it to lock. Sir, that also applies to two-strand twist. But also your hair would look very feminine with that, and you're a masculine guy, and that's not the vibe that you seem to give me, that you want to give off. Okay, you could also start it with braid locks, but you're starting your hair off in a position where it'll lead to damage, blah, 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 blah. That's what you want to hear. Someone should be professional. They should know these techniques inside and out. Okay, so you ask them for the options. You've asked them for the pros and cons. You've asked them for their suggestion and why. Okay, now you want to make sure you ask them about the aftercare. This is super, super important. Okay, which is, how do you take care of it? What are the expected maintenance costs, right? So, say for example, you had very thick hair, meaning you have more strands of hair on your head than the average person, and you wanted small locks. You're going to have a bunch of them, right? If the average person has 100 locks, let's say you end up with 200. That's a lot of locks, okay? So I would say, hey, you want this smaller size? Just know that your resource price will always be more than the average person. And it's only going to increase as your hair gets longer, okay? If you decide to do your hair yourself, it may be overwhelming because you have so many locks, blah, 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 blah. That's what you want to hear. Or you want to hear someone say, well, sir, I'm going to start your locks with comb twists. You're going to have to come back every 2 weeks until your hair is locked. You're going to have to avoid getting your hair wet, excessive scratching, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what you want to hear, because you want to know how to take care of it. Because no matter how cute and beautiful it looks when you get it, if it's impossible for you to keep up with it, that doesn't make sense, right? So there are going to be a few services that the aftercare will change. So that would be, if you're starting locks, obviously there's one way to take care of your hair when it's going through that locking process. And then it's another way to take care of it once your hair is actually locked. Same with extensions. It's when you first get it, you have to treat it a certain way. And then, maybe after a couple of months, the care changes. But a professional will be able to tell you all of that. Okay? So you've asked them for the options available. You asked them for the pros and cons. You've asked them for their suggestion and why. And you ask them about that aftercare. So once you have all of this, do not feel pressured into scheduling an appointment. You need to go home and digest this, look at pictures, talk to your friends and family. Don't feel pressured into booking an appointment then. Okay, anyone who's trying to pressure you is not a professional. This is a decision that you need to take time and think about. Okay, think about it. This is going slightly off topic, but I just want to say it because it's happened so much this week. Stop scheduling appointments for these arbitrary reasons. Stop it. You are getting yourself in trouble. I don't care that you have a hot date on Friday. I don't care that you only have Mondays off and I just happen to have an appointment available on Monday. I don't care that you have $500 in your hand and you're not mature enough to know how to save the money, so therefore you just want to get something today. Stop letting all these ridiculous, arbitrary reasons influence you into getting your hair done then. That doesn't make sense. You know, I had one lady came. She really wanted sister locks, which are the really, really tiny, tiny, itty bitty little locks. And she came to me and I said, well, ma'am, I don't do sister locks. You know, I can style them, but I don't start them. I don't do any maintenance. You'll have to see a sister lock consultant to get information on that. You know, why are you starting with traditional locks if you really want sister locks? And she said, well, this is the only day I have off. Really? You know, people come in for reasons like that. That does not make sense. That does not make sense. Okay? If you really want a particular thing, but you're going to somebody who does the opposite just because they have an appointment available, that does not make sense. All right? Or what else have I heard? Someone wanted to get lock extensions, but they only had $400. Bare minimum of lock extensions, you should be paying at least $600. He only had $4. So he found this lady who would do them for $4. He didn't do any research on her. He didn't look at any pictures. She started for $4 and she had an appointment available. Boom, that was it. So he's in seeing me because his hair is coming out. It wasn't even a month and they're already slipping out. That kind of stuff happens all the time. Okay, this is a decision you need to take some time and think about. Whether you're starting locks, you're getting extensions, you're getting extensive repair work, or you just need a shampoo and retwist. Stop going to people for all these silly reasons. You need to plan ahead. Ugh, I don't know. I went off on a tangent. But anyway, send this video and the other video, how to pick a loctician. Send this to everyone out there because it just really upsets me when people come in and they have all these issues, which probably could have been avoided if they had simply done some kind of research. And I do know that, you know, if you're thinking about starting locks, you don't even really know what they are at that point, so you may not know what to ask. But now you do because it's in this video and it's in the other video. So now you do. Please send this out to people so you can avoid being taken advantage of by people before you can avoid picking things when you didn't know you had other options. For me, I started locks at a very well-known salon in Atlanta, and I got lock extensions started with 2-strand twist. Now, I didn't know anything. I just said, locks look like braids, but they don't come out. I knew nothing. And after the consultation, I knew nothing. Okay? So here I am telling people, oh, I have locks. And they're like, no, you don't. You got 2-strand twists. You got some kinky twists or whatever, you know, they were saying. I didn't even know there was an option to get them done where they looked like regular locks. Okay? And that's a whole different story with that too. But all I'm saying is try to make some informed decisions that aren't rushed. Okay? Take your time, do your research, and think about it. All right. So I will see you all in the next video. And you have a good night. Oh. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please go to my Instagram page, which is at LYL, and send it to me on there. I'm very, very slow about replying to comments and stuff that is posted on YouTube. So if you're posting them on YouTube, it's going to take me forever to get to it. Just either email me, jm@LYL, or go on over to my Instagram page and make your comments there. I'm on there every day. I reply very quickly. All right, so make sure you are sleeping right tonight, and I will see you in the next video.